DD214 Network podcast is for mature audiences only. Any videos, music, or entertainment not originating from DD214 Network is used and covered under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, also known as fair use. Opinions expressed are our own and do not represent any DoD or U.S. government entities as a whole. This podcast is for entertainment purposes only. Viewer and listener discretion is advised. You are no longer alone now, because we have you.
What the fuck is going on, y'all?
Where's that echo today? I have no idea. Wait. I think it's me. Hang on.
Is that because of the music?
No. Is it still echoing?
Yeah. Test 1 2 test.
No, it's not.
It's not.
So like I guess like the automatic settings had the beacon go into like a specific place.
Yeah.
And you guys started hearing yourself because of the audience mix. I was like, oh, wait a minute, that's not right.
That's all right. How you guys doing?
I'm feeling great.
Attack of the buttons again.
Yeah. I'm doing better.
You are doing better, John. You've been doing better lately. Honestly,
I haven't been touching shit. That's why. Yeah. So we were just talking about this. Shit's been keeping me up at night sometimes, right?
Tell me about this.
We were talking about, like switching, like not switching over to Riverside yet, but like switching over our account from Streamlabs and stuff like that. And the first thing I thought about was, oh my God, we have to send Jay this email again.
Yeah, because that was a bit of a pain in the fucking ass the first time too.
We'll get it figured out. I'll give you guys a different email address. Now that I've done it before. So it shouldn't be quite the ass ache, that it became last time. Hopefully.
Yeah.
Because Joe had problems just giving me a fucking Peacock password the other night. So, it is what it is.
I thought we got past that after we talked about it last week on the fucking episode.
I'm really kind of brain damaged when it comes to a lot of the way things are and the stuff you have to do. I forget stuff so easily because I never used email. I still to this day barely use email. Yeah. And it's like so I didn't grow up constantly sending emails. So nowadays you have to do everything through email. Everything is online. Yeah. And it's like and for me, I grew up with the internet. I had the fucking internet, right? I'm a long time internet user from the beginning basically. But I never got into email.
You were there when it was born.
I was. My dad actually worked in the industry, so I got to see what you might call early precursors. I remember one time I was about, John, I was like 5 or 6 maybe, and my dad called me into his bedroom and he had his computer set up. He's like, "Do you want to see something cool?" I was like, I'm a little kid. I'm like, "Yeah, Dad, show me something cool." He's like, I'm gonna type these words in, and then watch what happens. And he typed them and he hit the prompt or he hit return, and then words started appearing underneath, and it was him talking to one of his coworkers at work in downtown Tucson. Mind you, this is like 1986, 1987. Okay, this is way before the internet.
Yeah.
So a landline connection between two computers was still a relatively new thing. Like it existed for a while, but it was relatively new. And for them to be able to instant message each other, it was pretty cool. And I'll never forget that. Like, yeah,
That's so crazy.
Well,
Okay, so
I mean-
I'm gonna shut the music off because like I'm scared now.
what are you scared of, John? What are you scared of?
Everything. Can you
Let's
still hear me?
No, yes.
Yes.
Okay.
No fear, John. No
I
fear.
get
However, you keep asking if we can still hear you. The next time it might just be a no to fuck with you.
just to see, watch you start fucking with some buttons and shit. Like,
So real quick, I just want to point out this is how disconnected from technology Jay is. We were talking about the game Sunday. So first off, this is a pre-record. We're not going to be live.
yeah, this is we unfortunately all three of us had other stuff this Sunday that we not necessarily would rather have done, but it kind of worked out that we needed to be other places. So this is a pre-record. Thank you all for fucking tuning in as always. When we go live here on Sunday.
and I think I need to be more descriptive next time too, because the last time we did that, a couple people thought that we were live at that when the show aired. Did you notice that?
Yes, and I think what we need to do, like as we can, is when the episode airs, we should probably get into the chat section, and just be present in the chat section, and that way. Go ahead.
If we use the premiere features that YouTube has, we can be active in the chat when we have it air on a Sunday.
Yep.
And respond to comments and stuff that way. That way, we're
not live, but we're still there. We're still there.
We're there.
Yep.
But how far Jay is disconnected from technology? We were talking about Sunday. He's got to work the Chiefs game. They're sticking him in a stairwell to make sure nobody gets access to the roof. So he's just
OPSEC, bro. I love you, OPSEC. Like.
I got you.
Anywho.
You are the sec.
I am.
I didn't actually release any huge details there.
No, you didn't. Nobody knows where they are. So that's fine. It's fine. So what were you going to say? So I'm going to be in the stairwell. What were you going to say?
But we were talking about, he's not going to be able to see the game or anything from his location. And I was like, well, you could just fucking install Peacock on your phone and watch the game from your phone in the stairwell while you're at the game.
True story.
He's like, can my phone actually run Peacock? And it's like, if your phone can run fucking YouTube, it can run Peacock. Install the fucking app and sign in. Granted, we might have another, back and forth conversation about your passwords not working. However,
then he starts talking about the battery.
As I pull my fucking hair out. Well, and that is a concern.
Does your battery suck? You do have an old phone, don't you?
Well, it's not that the battery sucks. It's that it drains a lot faster when I'm utilizing apps, specifically YouTube apps like Reddit. I can get
$15
which is funny,
Walmart.
which is interesting to me because Jay doesn't really use apps.
No. I only have a couple, and
he doesn't even have Facebook. I know that for sure.
I do not have the Facebook app. I still utilize
the mobile browser.
The mobile browser to get on Facebook for my phone. That is correct, 100% correct. And then I can. So what happens is if I stay on my phone nonstop, my phone probably has somewhere between 6 to 9 hours of juice. So it's a little older. It doesn't last. It doesn't last quite as long on a full charge. Now, that full charge will last throughout an entire day if I barely use my phone. If I barely touch it, I'll have easily 12 plus hours. But I have to not fucking touch it. Basically, as soon as I touch it, I can see the fucking percentages going down. So what I'm probably going to need to do is get what'd you guys say, a little charger from Walmart?
Yeah,
I'm probably
battery.
I'm probably going to go to fucking Walmart tomorrow so I can bring a fucking portable charger, and then I can watch the game. I can watch our show and the game from a fucking stairwell somewhere in Arrowhead. You know what I mean? And yeah.
So we're talking about Jay's anti-love of apps. Here's my phone.
Damn, how'd you get your theme to look like that, asshole?
I'm running the fucking iOS 18 beta.
Where's OnlyFans?
I don't
That's
think
not
they
an
have an
app.
app.
Do you have bullshit only? Does it not have an app?
I don't
It
think
doesn't
so.
have an app.
What about Pornhub?
Also doesn't have an app.
I don't think those
Joe
are
would-
allo-
Joe
I don't
would
think
know.
tho- I
Joe
don't
would
think,
know.
No, the thing is, I don't think by law they're not allowed to have apps
Why?
because of the accessibility for younger audiences to be in the app stores.
You see, like I'm just scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and fucking apps for fucking days.
I bet you don't even use half of them.
I've actually used I've actually used the compass on my phone a couple times. Like no shit. Just to
I
like
actually do too, to be honest
like
with you.
when you right swipe on on like your home screen,
Yeah,
and it busts out that compass is like the first thing because
Yeah.
I have a fucking Android, so it's like that's like on the Android. But I've actually used the compass a couple of times just to fucking orient myself. I'm like,
yeah.
when I first moved to Kansas City, like it's hard to tell direction here if you're not from here. And so if it's not nighttime and we don't have stars in the sky, it's hard to tell like which direction is which. So if I was like in my car and like I was like in my car and I couldn't get on Google Maps.
Yeah.
So I fucking use the compass to see which direction I should take, a right or a left, basically, right? Like I've done that. Like
Yeah.
I have used that. Like, but that's practical use. That's not what you guys like Joe with like a 1,000 fucking apps of God knows what. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, no, I really need to go through that and clean that up because like here's my actual like my home screens and pretty much it's all just widgets of important things that are just day-to-day things like
Same
my podcast
here.
app, my sleep tracking, stuff like that, my email. So like if it's not in a widget on my home screen, I probably don't use it that fucking often.
Yeah. And Jay, you want to get yourself, I mean, this one is kind of the idea. This is actually a battery pack for my camera,
Show me.
but it doubles as a cell phone charger as well.
okay.
But you want to get, they look like these blocks, they got a little charge in there.
That's the DJI.
Well, how
Yeah.
long do those? So if that thing is fully charged, and let's say I use my phone down to like 30%, recharge my phone back up to close to 100 or 100, whatever. How many times can I get out of that?
Usually 2 to 3, depending on the size of the battery bank. So there's different.
That would be more than enough.
So
that would be more than enough.
There are battery banks you can buy now that will charge your phone 10 times before you have to recharge.
Home Depot has a really decent one for a good price too.
Yeah,
I forgot who makes it.
I'm not worried about like camping in the woods or anything like that. I'm not.
Yeah.
That's more of like a, having a phone for emergencies and you don't want to let it fucking die kind of thing. Like that's. I just need it. I just need it for the inside of a fucking stairwell. You know what I mean? Like that's.
I mean, realistically, the whole reason I have my Apple Watch is because that makes it to where I don't need this all the fucking time. Like if the battery dies on this, my Apple Watch has fucking phenomenal battery life and I pay for cellular data on my watch. So that way I can still send a text message, make fucking phone calls in case this is fucking dead.
Yeah.
Right.
And if I want to disconnect from the bajillion apps I have on my phone, I just leave my phone on the charger on the nightstand if we go out of the house during the day and I've got my watch on.
That's good.
That absolutely.
That makes perfect fucking like that's the way you use technology, Joe. If I use technology like that's about what I would. It makes sense the way you use it. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Logically, it makes sense.
Again, I buy a lot of tech, but when I do buy tech, there is an exact use case for it within the way I'm going to use it.
Mm-hmm.
It drives fucking Amy insane because she's like, you're constantly buying something new. You're constantly buying something new. And it's like, yes, but I'm using that fucking thing because I needed it for a very specific reason.
Right.
The same reason why just last week I spent $210 on a Kickstarter that ends this Friday for a fucking smart ring so I can stop wearing my watch to sleep and just have a ring on my finger that fucking tracks my sleep and shit.
Holy shit. That's intense. That's like there are some elements where we are living in the future, are we not?
I'm here for it.
I am too. That's the kind of shit I thought we were gonna have like buttloads of, and shit's barely.
I just want the
out.
flying cars. I mean,
Again,
I've been waiting for that.
Hoverboards, man. Hoverboards.
You know, I'm probably one of the very few, like a lot of my buddies that also work in IT and work in tech, they don't have as much tech in their house as I have. Because they're like, I don't want to have to fight with technology at home when I have to fight with it all day when I'm working. For me, it's like, each piece of tech I own has a practical fucking use.
Yeah, as it should, and I think it's like it's always been obvious that that's kind of how you roll the dice. You know what I mean? Like that you're not going to see Joe with a bunch of bullshit that he doesn't use. It's more like he might have one thing here and one thing here and one thing here, but all three of those things have a particular use.
Well, that's like, I mean, my Pac-Man machine that's behind me. I literally, the only reason I got that was Walmart last year around December. The box was so damaged they couldn't sell it as brand new, so they marked it down from $300 to $100, and I bought it more for a fucking display piece. I don't ever play that fucking arcade. It's more just it
just sucks up electricity.
It really doesn't take that fucking much electricity to run that thing.
That's good.
But at the same time, I typically, like, unless we're doing a podcast episode, that thing's powered down too. Like, I don't even have it on 95% of the time. Again, it's more just a display piece in the background.
Nice.
Because I was able to get it for so cheap. If I had to pay $300 for it, I probably wouldn't have fucking bought it.
I want the table that One Up has.
The table one? Yeah.
The table's fucking cool.
Talking about it's the Infinity table where it's got all the different board games built into it and shit.
Yep.
Try to ruin family game night with Monopoly now, motherfuckers. It's not a physical board anymore.
It's a glass fucking table.
It's a glass touchscreen table. You gotta flip the whole fucking table.
I can fuck that up too, okay? Thank you.
So while we're in the conversation, I have to say,
okay?
Hey, are we gonna play some Monopoly when it comes out September 30th?
On what platform? Is it on Xbox?
Every single platform.
Are they finally now? Is it?
It's fixed. They made a brand new one from the scratch up, cross-play multiplayer.
I was going to say, like, all the Monopoly games we've gotten in the past in video game format have been Monopoly branded. It wasn't true fucking Monopoly.
Exactly. Do you remember the website Pogo?
Yeah.
I actually remember that, John.
So actually funny, me and Joe Perazzi, we used to spend hours on end on Pogo playing Monopoly. I think for one game once we spent like maybe 15 hours in one game.
Damn, dude.
Me and him.
I believe
and we played
Fred.
and then now, hey Fred, and now that website, that Flash version of Monopoly doesn't exist. It's a shame, but now we finally have a new Monopoly game coming out, and it's going to be up to 6 players. It's coming obviously by Ubisoft. Let me tell you.
Oh, that's where you fucking
release date. I clearly need to get my Game Pass reinstalled, along with a couple of other.
You're not missing much on Game Pass, to be honest with you.
Along with a couple of other streaming services.
The only reason I would say you need to get Game Pass is so we can all play Call of Duty Black Ops 6 without having to fucking pay for it, and then we can all bitch about Black Ops 6 on the podcast.
I can do that too. Well, there's a couple of other games like Descenders. I miss playing Descenders. I haven't played Descenders in like fucking forever.
Dude, you got to play Riders Republic. That's coming to the Game Pass soon.
Forza's the only reason. Like, the only reason I steadily keep paying for Game Pass is because of fucking Forza right
You see, I'm gonna pull up my Game Pass because I actually play a fuck ton of games on there. I deleted 76 because I don't play 76 anymore.
Jesus.
Wait, Fallout 76?
I stopped playing Fallout 76 like
damn dog.
indefinitely.
Was that hard? Was it hard?
It was really hard to let go of it, but you know what? There's a free game out there that I'm having so much more fun
because
with.
of your new fucking game. That's
Yeah,
why.
it's
Because
so good.
It's a free version of fucking Fallout 76, pretty much, isn't it?
It's a free version of The Division, Fallout 76, Ghost Recon, State of Decay. There's like 12 games in it, and it's Souls-like too. Oh, look at that! Speak of the devil, speak of the motherfucking devil, Jay. This is your chance. In fact, I'll even give you a free 14-day code that I have to play Riders Republic.
Okay, maybe, yeah.
Okay, Riders Republic. And then you got this one. I'm actually trying to check out this game right here. A Mud Runners game.
Huh.
Yeah. So there's a bunch of stuff there.
As we can see, he already has Call of Duty installed.
I'm guilty, all right? I've been playing it, okay?
Hashtag guilty.
I am so guilty. I wanted to go back and finish the campaign, which it wasn't all that good, unfortunately. So I'm really hoping that Black Ops really kind of brings that back.
They've dropped the ball ever since fucking Modern Warfare like became a thing. You know what I mean? Like everything after Modern Warfare was a disappointment.
The last Call of Duty game I actually liked was fucking Ghost.
I love that game. Ghost it had such a good story. It had a good set of weapons, great mechanics. That was a great Call of Duty game.
Good story, great mechanics, great weapons. The online was fucking good. I was kind of annoyed when they didn't do a sequel to it. Because they really did the end of the story set up for there to be another fucking game.
The story, are you familiar with the story, Jay?
No.
So it's Call of Duty Ghost. It was to
do with the fucking skull mask, right?
Yeah, and it had nothing to do with that guy at all. Like he wasn't in the game. They did nothing. It was special because it was about legacy.
Okay.
You know, like the legacy of what Ghost did and how people followed his path.
Yeah.
And you know, so it was a story about a father and two sons, and you know, a group that they had called the Ghost, and they did these like fucking awesome spec op missions, really cool fucking shit. Squilini will probably back me up on this. The backstory that they had on them was super cool, but super tragic at the same time because one of their members got taken. Yeah, they thought he was dead.
The missions alone in the story mode for Ghosts was just. Those missions were probably outside of the first Black Ops game. Those missions were freaking amazing.
Yeah.
And the thing I liked with Ghost is you did have to use a little bit more of a tactful thought process when you were going through playing the fucking missions.
Yeah. The story was really good. And I mean, the way that they ended it with such a cliffhanger.
So Jay, did you ever play the Siphon Filter games back in the day?
I know what you're talking about, but no, I didn't. I watched my friends play it. I watched friends play those games
because I was a huge fucking Siphon Filter fan.
I had a buddy in
Ghosts. Call of Duty Ghost brought some aspects of like that spy espionage, Siphon Filter esqueness to it, in my opinion. Because you were more wanting to be a little bit sneaky and tactful and not.
I was a huge fan of like Tenchu back in the day. If that gives you any indication.
Tenchu, wow.
Well, that's why I loved Ghost of Tsushima so much, because in Ghost of Tsushima you can be a fucking ninja basically and like just like creep on motherfuckers.
I'm still playing through fucking Ghost of Tsushima.
Do you enjoy it? Are you enjoying it? It's beautiful, isn't it?
It's a beautiful game. I've been playing it on the PS5. With the upscaling that's offered there.
Awesome. One of my favorite parts of the game is like composing the poems. When you go and like you compose the fucking haiku.
You can compose poems in there?
Yes, it's part of the game. Like
it
gives you choices to like it's a haiku, so like 5 syllables, 7, 5.
That reminds me of how like Last of Us did the guitar in their game,
and
Once Human has a piano that you could play too.
Right. Right.
I think that's a really cool mechanic that
Well,
they
and then
have.
let's not forget the first game that ever gave us music
Yeah, what was that?
that you could play.
Are you gonna
Ocarina
say?
of Time.
Oh, that's right.
That was, I believe, that was the first one where like there was a musical instrument involved, and you actually had to learn and play songs. Like, obviously, music and musical aspects have always been in games, as far back, even fucking Pong.
Well, it's like
on the fucking Atari.
there was a mission in fucking Bully, that Rockstar game Bully.
Yeah.
Where you're like a little drummer boy for like a school, a school like function or whatever.
Yeah.
I have it on my phone.
It's the
And you have to,
classes,
like-
yeah.
Yeah, and like you have to like press the buttons like in a sequence or whatever.
You have to
and,
hit the triggers or the buttons. It's it's annoying, yeah.
Yeah.
You're about to make me
Because-
play that game.
Which, I mean, Bully
Fun game.
came out after Ocarina of Time, which I have Bully installed. That's one of the apps on my fucking phone.
Is Bully.
Yeah, because they ported it over to
Yeah.
fucking mobile.
That's
Because
hilarious.
these devices are fucking powerful enough to play fucking games
You know
like
what?
that.
Do you guys want to hear something funny? Do you know what I did download something on my phone. You guys will both enjoy this. Do you know what I just downloaded on my phone so I can
What?
I'm
Roblox.
scared.
Roblox.
Oh, so you can play with your kids?
I can play with my kids. Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
listen, there's some stuff in there that you can do. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
That's fair.
There's plenty of, and there's like thousands of games in there, isn't there? Like within that little like realm.
Oh, yeah.
Like there's like all kinds of shit in there, and I haven't even really touched it yet.
I
Like,
mean, that's understandable, though. That gives you some way to interact with your kids, play, still have time with them with.
healthy. It's healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah, my kid, my son's been asking me about, because when I told him that Black Ops was coming to the Game Pass, and me and him have a shared account, well, through the family account or whatever it is, and he said, I told him, I was like, hey, Black Ops is coming onto Game Pass, and he looked at me, he goes, you mean we're finally going to be able to play Call of Duty together finally? Because we don't have a lot of consoles in the house, you know what I mean?
Right.
So
like
the opportunity to
whoever plays,
finally.
like-
Yeah, it's like the opportunity to be able to play with my kid.
That's cool.
I'm excited,
So,
and I think a lot of friends are going to come back into the fold too.
Yeah,
I would
with
think so,
my
too.
daughter, with my kid, the thing is Minecraft. She's big
The
into
movie's
Minecraft.
coming out.
Yeah, fuck that movie.
Yeah, I agree. Don't let my kids hear me say it though.
Dude, I've said it before. I will say it again. I don't care how unpopular the opinion is. Fuck Jack Black. Any movie he's in, Tenacious D sucks. Like fuck that guy. Like I've hated him since the '90s.
I've got something to bring up here in a little bit.
Oh shit!
It's
Here we go.
not involving Jack Black or Tenacious D.
Okay.
It's involving another fucking band.
Oh my!
Foo Fighters?
Say
Is it
whatever
the
you
Foo
have to
Fighters?
say. Say whatever you have to say now, so that we could get into this.
Linkin fucking Park.
Oh, I saw that.
I'm out
I
of
saw
here.
That
I'm out.
motherfucker.
This is crazy. This is
so-
crazy.
First off, the chick they have fucking coming into the new into the position, she fucking sucks. Second, yesterday Chester's fucking son came out and said this is fucking bullshit. She should not be replacing my dad.
Let me know when
The
when
fan
I can
base
start
is so
saying my
fucking
conspiracy theories.
And I'm so fucking pissed because I listened to the music video, to the official video for their new song off of their new album with her in it. When you add all the fucking auto tune and all the fucking effects in a fucking recording booth, she sounds fucking good.
Yeah, and
Still
I
not
would
any
love to
fucking
add,
Chester
I would love to add in when you're done too.
Live, she sounds like a dying fucking horse.
I never liked Linkin Park, so I'm gonna leave this
Yeah.
one. I'm gonna leave this one to the two of you.
I saw them
Yeah.
3 times before Chester
Oh,
passed.
dude, I've got you
Live.
fucking beat, son. Oh,
Well, you can have me beat all you fucking
oh my
want.
God.
I live in goddamn North Carolina. Ain't nobody trying to fucking do a tour here. Okay?
Why?
I got lucky to see them 3 fucking times.
You guys got such nice arenas there.
They have nice fucking college arena, like college fucking stadiums.
And they can fill it up.
Who wants to go?
So all
to
we get
who
through
wants to
here,
go to
hold
North
on,
Carolina?
John, real quick. All we get through here is fucking country music.
They're an dude. He's right on the edge.
You
of
don't have
Appalachia.
any rock stations at all?
Yeah, they. Well,
No,
of course they do.
We
Of
have
course
rock
they do.
stations and shit, but for concerts, most of it is fucking country.
Like it's not a big market for rock concerts.
It's
Well, they don't.
not a big market for that.
It's not
unless
cost
it's
effective
classic
on the
rock
tour.
or
That's-
southern rock.
Interesting.
When bands go on tour, and this is irrelevant, genre is irrelevant. When bands go on tour, it has to be cost effective.
Yeah.
Is it going to be worth it for us to spend the gas in the car and the food and fucking
All the
venue,
expenses that go into it.
all the shit that goes into a fucking tour? Is it worth it to stop in Raleigh, North Carolina? Probably not this year.
Interesting.
Probably not this year.
So
Super interesting.
I've seen some great shows here.
I'm sure,
Don't get me
and
wrong.
I'm sure you have. I'm sure.
Yeah.
I've seen,
Yes.
I was the first concert my parents ever took me to, and I only remember this because of fucking photos and talking about it years later. I was 5 years old and we went to see the fucking Monkees.
Nice.
Oh wow.
Nice.
You're lucky. You're
Nice.
fucking lucky, man.
I've seen Allman Brothers. I've seen Skinnerd. I've seen Kiss. But here
Nice.
over the last 5 years, 6 years, everything's turned into a fucking country fest around here.
Interesting. I didn't know. And also, I just want to say, I wasn't trying to brag when I said I got your beat. It's just, I mean, I'm assuming you were a big Linkin Park fan at one time too, right?
Back before the army, when my voice wasn't completely trashed from screaming at fucking dumb privates,
Yeah.
I was the lead singer in a fucking Linkin Park cover band.
Oh, cute.
That's hilarious.
So, yes, I'm a fucking Linkin Park fan.
Yeah. So, okay, so good. And so before I start this, I just want people to understand first, Squillini, I am with you and I completely agree with you. And there is no buts, okay? I'm going to break down what, no, there is no but. And I'm going to break down my experience of what happened because I've been in their Discord for a while. And
no, this is going to be posted to YouTube. I was going to say, give me 1 second to turn my VPN on. I'll pull up a porn video and show you exactly what happened.
Jesus.
A porn video. A porn video. You have my attention. What?
Like, Squillini, don't do that.
She got this position by being on her fucking knees in a circle with all the guys.
Okay.
Can you send me a
That's
link?
my
Okay.
point of view.
Okay.
There's
you
not
send me a
actually
link?
a fucking link to this.
Okay.
Aww.
So
That's just speculation, but that's my point of fucking view.
So I grew up when I was growing up in the 7th grade, I met a guy named Eric, right? And he actually pulled out the Hybrid Theory CD out of his pocket and was like, have you ever listened to these guys? I was like, no. 2 weeks later, I saw them at the Street Soldiers tour with Taproot and Alien Ant Farm. So throughout the couple years, I got to see them. I've seen them 12 times. And in those 12 times,
Alien Ant Farm.
I love Alien Ant Farm too. Their new music is actually not bad either. So I met Linkin Park. I met the whole band. I met Linkin Park July 25th, 2001 at the Blue Cross Arena. And it was for an Ozfest Off-Fest show with Slipknot. It was Slipknot, Mudvayne didn't show up.
I still
Disturbed.
haven't washed this hand since Chester Bennington shook it, and that was 20 years ago. That's a joke. I've washed the hand since.
Yeah,
I have
so
a shower.
I'll never forget. I was at the hotel and we were unpacking our bags. There was a large tour bus out there, right?
Mhm.
And I see Chester. And I said, yo, what's up, man? I must have been like maybe 13, 14 years old at the time. And he was like, yo, what's up? And he stood and he talked to us for like 20 minutes. The rest of the band, and it's interesting, okay? And I'm going to go through a little timeline here, and it's interesting because the rest of the band were not like that, except the DJ Joseph Hahn, who was actually walking around the arena.
Mr. Hahn.
Yeah, so we met the bus driver and the tour manager named Bob Dallas. Bob Dallas told me and the group of people I was with, come to the back of the arena so you could come in and take pictures with the band. We got to meet the band. We got to hang out with them. And Chester was really the only one that was really vocal and talkative with everybody. So let's fast forward a couple years later, right? Chester passes away, and I had stopped listening to them after their second album, Meteora, for reasons, you know, their music just didn't appeal to me anymore. And so he dies. Years go by, and what happened? The concert happened last week, right? And I think actually, as of this recording today, is the first show in Los Angeles. So at first, and I'm going to start off with that first, because we all know what happened after. And I'm glad you brought this up, and I'm glad we're talking about this, Squilini, because it is important, because we do have.
This was going to at least appeal to your side, because you're really in that music scene more than myself or Jay.
Yeah. So Linkin Park comes out, the concert's happening, and she wasn't out yet. And I'm thinking, okay, great. You know, this is cool. Maybe they'll have some new music. Maybe they're going to move on from this and not have another singer. Maybe, well, there was another guy named Bobby Amaru who was up for the running too, who probably would have been a great choice too. So the song is sounding good at first. I'm having a good time. And she comes up and, you know, and first opinions, right? I was like, okay, pretty good. But then the rest of the songs are played, and it was just like, you can hit some of them, most of them you can't. So then the next day, I forgot what that lady's name who started blasting Emily Armstrong for the Scientology stuff and the Danny Masterson shit. I can't remember her name, but that became a big thing. And then instantly, you know, I can imagine that the Linkin Park PR team is fucking going crazy right now because of this shit. You know what I mean? Because this is bad, you know, and Squilini, you could probably agree with this too, because you too, Jay, you have to vet before you bring people on your fucking team.
That's correct. You and me have had many conversations about that.
Yes, we have.
I was cautious about just having Joe come on. I was cautious about, like, Joe. It took me several months to get.
I was going to say, what fucking vetting did I go through? This makes me nervous.
We deep dove on you, motherfucker.
Yeah, me and John had several backroom conversations over like whether or not it was working, and John was like, "Jay, be patient. Jay, be patient." Every
whether
time
or
John
not it was fucking working. How long did the motherfucker?
Months, bro.
The last conversation was 2 days ago. I'm fucking kidding. I'm fucking kidding.
No, but he's real talk, Joe. Like, it was months after
again,
we had
new guy thrown into the fucking mix, like, you know,
thrown to the wolves.
We just kind of had to. Motherfucker, you're a sheep.
So, all right, so now Chester's son comes out.
I'm just trying to trigger him, okay?
Yeah,
I'm just trying to trigger him.
So Chester's son, Jamie, comes out and goes on Instagram and starts saying all these things, how Mike has pretty much like betrayed the trust of the Bennington family. And it's interesting too. Now, Squilini, do you remember a couple years ago when Chester died, that Chester's ex-wife and his sister came out and said that Mike and Chester did not have a good working relationship?
Yeah,
are you familiar with that?
I'm not even a fan of the band, and I remember some of that.
Yeah, so a lot of people start talking about that now. People are talking about that now, and then people are also talking about, well, they've revealed that they've been talking since 2019. So they've been planning this since 2000. Just Mike, because it seems like the rest of the band didn't get on board until earlier this year.
Well, and if you think about it, other people in the band got fucking replaced in the meantime too. Because it's Rob a new Borden. Drummer.
Where's Rob?
Fucking...
Well, Brad. Okay, well, Brad Delson made a statement about his replacement. So he made a statement saying that and I relate to this. He said, "I always found pleasure working behind the scenes and making sure everything was working correctly for the band." You know, he goes, "I have a touring guitar player. You might see me in some tours. You're not going to see me in all of them." He goes, "But I'm taking a behind the scenes approach to this now." So that I'm a little more understanding on that.
That makes
sense.
But
like the drummer,
Rob Borden is nowhere to be found.
Yeah. And there's not been any statements, no fucking messaging, nothing from him. They did this event on the 5th.
Yeah.
Which I'm kind of annoyed because this could have been, well, last week, our last episode, we wanted to focus mainly on sports because of everything going on with baseball, opening week of fucking football.
But this was a crazy week with everything this week.
But I mean, there's been so much more that's come out here. And you know, like I've seen Linkin Park 3 times live.
And they were great every time, right?
I've actually played Animal Crossing with fucking Mike Shinoda.
I believe it. He's a big gamer.
Because
and
he's
so
a big
is Chester.
And he's a big Animal Crossing player.
Yes,
too.
he is. Yes, he is.
But you know, outside of that, it's like I just feel like they should have done more vetting. They should have made sure who was going to replace Chester sounded fucking good. Because here's the thing: they're going
She's
on
not
this
great
fucking
live.
tour.
It starts
They're going
today.
on this fucking tour, which today's the first official show.
It starts.
In
several
hours.
It actually the first band goes up in about an hour and a half. Well, actually, it's 3 hours.
I was going to say
so,
that's 3 hours behind us.
Yeah, I keep forgetting Los Angeles.
California, guys. California.
Yeah. So, Schooler, let me ask you this: do you think it's weird, right? This whole time they've kept this a secret. Do you think that's weird?
No, because from a PR stunt standpoint, I can see why they did it.
Okay, yeah.
Because you know they're gonna do things to hype it up, and then hope everybody gets fucking behind.
Yeah,
it.
I don't think it should have been Linkin Park. It should have been It should have been a new band.
Well, here's what fucking pisses me off. So, any true Linkin Park fan knows the initial name of the band was Zero.
And then it turned into
XERO. And then it turned into fucking there was one other before
Hybrid Theory.
Yeah.
It was Hybrid Theory.
That's why their first album was Hybrid Theory, because they were going to go with that for their naming.
Yeah.
But decided Linkin Park was better.
Yeah, there was actually a silly story. There was a silly story to the name, so I can't remember.
What pisses me off is the fact that the new album is named From Zero.
And it's with a Z.
How do they spell it?
And
how do they spell it before?
X with an X.
It was XERO.
Yeah. So this is this is
the
bad.
Thing is, it's like you're now taking what was part of Chester's vision, tarnishing it with someone that can't fucking sing without auto-tune, and then naming your next album From Zero, even though half of the OGs aren't there anymore.
Yeah. And not even that, about the 8th song in, she even revealed during the show that she had to learn how to sing. Why would you hire someone that that had to learn how to sing?
Well, so here's my thing.
They should have gotten Bobby Amaru from Saliva.
So here's my thing. There's most people, not everybody's born talented, at least especially from a vocal standpoint. We get lucky with a few artists, T-Pain being the first that comes to fucking mind, because holy
T-Pain,
fuck, without auto-tune,
he amazing.
Sounds fucking amazing.
He shut a lot of people up.
He's made a name for himself because he heavily auto-tunes his voice with his music. But this just, it's,
and let's also we can't forget one thing too.
It's not good.
When Danny Masterson's rape case came out, she supported him at first. And yeah, maybe she realized, oh, this is not a good idea. But the accusations were out, the information was out, the evidence was out, and she still went out to support him. And just like a theme on this show, we do not support sexual assault, sexual abuse, sexual misconduct here on DD214. And for someone to show up.
Yeah, all the actors from fucking the 70s show got in trouble for that shit too, because that's
who we're talking about.
It's fucking brain dead.
That's the guy we're talking about. She was friends with, and it's like, you know, like you really fucked it up. You really fucked up. And then on top of that, you have Linkin Park, who had Chester, who was a sexual abuse advocate.
Yep.
You know, and for someone,
He was the biggest, and even from as much as I don't like Linkin Park as a band, that shit is like fucking. You don't touch that shit. That's fucking. That's traumatizing, lifelong, horrific shit. And so to have the new lead singer step in and supporting a fucking convicted rapist, right? It doesn't say very good things.
no.
It does not say very good things.
I do want to say, because we're on this topic, and you know, I have a very big love for Chester, and he was an influential part of my childhood.
Same.
When their last album came out,
One More
I'm
Light.
calling it the last Linkin Park album.
One More Light.
When that album came out, you could hear the fucking pain in his voice.
Yeah,
in those songs.
because he did the
There
tour, and
was-
then the week after the tour was over, he took his life. Yeah.
Yeah. There was pain in his voice. There was the song Good Goodbye on that album. The song Nobody Can Save Me. Those songs, you could tell he was crying out for fucking help. And nobody noticed.
He let everyone know too.
So we're a little bit before the final thought, but I'm just throwing this up there for this segment.
Yeah.
So, you know,
we are talking about it. So it does. There's nothing wrong with that. That's freaking.
so, you know, I just want it to be known, you know, that helps there. Reach out when you need it. In, you know, remembrance of those that we've lost already and those that might be thinking about it. Let's just make sure when we feel there's nothing left, we're reaching out for that fucking help. Because Chester tried to reach out. You could tell from the music in that last album, he was trying and nobody fucking noticed. None of his close friends, none of the people he was around daily took notice. So, you know, there is 988, which you can text or call and get that help you need.
Absolutely. So, in other wild music news,
Okay.
so we're Dave Grohl walks into a bar. He sees his wife and he says, "Baby, I cheated, but there's a little extra in the sauce here." So,
Fucking Dave
talk about it.
Grohl. Dave Grohl. Happy, wholesome Dave Grohl. Like
What?
Dave Grohl admitted.
Wait, you don't know about this?
He's having he impregnated somebody and he's gonna have another kid, but it's not with his wife.
Squillini, I thought that's what you were going to talk about.
Yeah, me too.
Before I went down the fucking Linkin Park rabbit hole, you thought I was going to
swear
talk
to
about...
God.
Nope.
Me too.
What the fuck? Why is my Apple News Plus feed not fucking giving me this information?
This is one of the biggest and craziest news in the music business in the world in general.
I will say this.
Oh, I know why it's not being shown on Apple News, because fucking the Red Hot Chili Peppers and fucking Apple have a whole fucking deal going on.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
I will say this, John. It's not unheard of for Dave Grohl to be seen with other women, and this is this goes back to like the 90s.
It really isn't.
But like the dude's like, how old is he now? Like in his fucking like 50s.
Yeah.
Hold on.
And he's like about to have a baby, dude. Like I'd be fucking terrified.
Is the baby not born yet?
No, I don't
He's
think
55.
55, about to have a fucking new baby. That's a no-go, sailor.
You're not circumcised yet, dog? I mean circumcised. Oh
that.
shit.
Wow.
Wrong word.
Okay. So real quick, I do want to make a correction. I mentioned Red Hot Chili Peppers. I meant fucking Foo Fighters.
Okay, so check this out.
They both roughly sound the same.
If you're 55, if
Fair.
you're 55, if you have a kid when you're 55, you will be goddamn fucking
80 fucking years old when that kid
80. Is... You'll be in your fucking 80s when that motherfucker becomes an adult.
You'll be 70. You'll be 73 when they graduate high school.
Bro.
73. 73 when they graduate high school. Fuck no, dude. Absolutely not.
Well,
no.
Okay, so this is where I'm gonna throw my fucking wife on blast for a minute. So we've had multiple conversations. Kids, no kids. Do we do this? Do we don't?
I'd say
Every time these conversations have popped up, I look at her straight in the face and I'm like, I haven't really been able to enjoy fucking adulthood yet because I had my first kid at fucking 19. I'm done.
Yeah.
And then she'll say, okay. And then like a month and a half passes and she'll see like some cute baby on fucking Facebook or some shit. She'll be like, you want to have a kid? And it's like, no. I'm 5 years away from 40. You're turning 40 in fucking March. What makes you think we need to have a fucking tiny human?
Mm-mm. And then by the time they get just barely to adulthood, you're going to be like in your 60s or encroaching on your 60s.
I have to tell you guys something too. We're having some scares right now, and that's all I'm going to say at the moment.
It's like straight up, go fuck yourself.
Jay.
There are no kids. God damn it. John.
Don't do it, John. Don't fucking do it, John.
There's some scares at the moment, so we're keeping an eye
vasectomies
on
aren't
things.
fucking expensive, and most insurance companies will pay to have you fixed.
Pulling out is free.
Listen, if this happens, I'm moving to
actually have
Kansas City.
pull-out game, and you know, if we look at the amount of kids he has and the amount of kids I have, we know pull-out game isn't strong within this group.
Yeah.
Well, I made it. I made it to like fucking 33. You know what I mean? Before I had my first like biological child, and like my pull-out game's on fucking point, bro.
Dude,
fucking point, bro.
I had my first kid at 23, so that should tell you a lot.
Here I am, fucking 19. Here's my fucking firstborn.
Yeah, no, we're fucked, man. But yeah, Dave Grohl, man, the purest man in the music industry is not so pure as we think.
I never thought he was fucking pure to begin with.
No, but I mean,
he's a rock star. But goddamn, dude, like you got, come on, man. Like, what's that little twig thing? That little twig thing, you know? Like, I know it's not comfortable for the ladies upon like insertion.
The IED.
Yeah, the IUD. Yeah,
the IUD. That
yeah, you're talking about IUD. Like the fucking I know
about putting a fucking bomb inside a woman's vagina. Holy shit,
dude, that shit's fucking money. That shit's fucking money. But like, he clearly zigged where he should have zagged. And like that lady clearly didn't have an IUD. You know what I mean?
So I've got a little bit of a fucking rant to go on about those fucking implant bullshits.
I can't believe I called it an IED.
They work. They work, Joe.
Yes, both IUDs and IEDs work. We know
they
this.
work.
somebody's getting bombed on one way or the other, dude. Like,
oh god,
somebody's
FBI, just in case you fucking decide to watch this episode. No, I don't know how to make an improvised explosive device.
Our FBI handlers, if you're watching this episode, now we're changing our careers to stand-up comedians, so we're telling jokes.
But I totally know how to make an IED. I totally know how to make a fucking IED.
So do I, Jay. I was trying to let our FBI handlers think I didn't.
I know how to make a Molotov cocktail.
Well, yeah.
Well, that's not fucking hard. You get a high enough proof fucking liquor and a rag.
No shit. You grew up in fucking Jersey. No shit. I'd be ashamed of you if you didn't. Jesus Christ.
I am drinking.
They teach you guys that shit in fucking kindergarten. They teach you guys that shit in kindergarten, like along with like finger painting and colors, and like it's like how to read. I went to the wrong fucking Molotov cocktail.
Listen, we created Felix the Cat, Casper the Friendly Ghost, and we may have not made Molotov cocktails, but I promise you, we damn perfected it.
Guaranteed.
So
guaranteed.
Newark, 1966.
My IUD rant real quick. Glad my wife doesn't watch the fucking podcast. She won't watch it. I've tried to get her to watch it.
I'd be inclined to agree with that. I would be inclined to agree with that. Like, there's a reason we have a very niche audience. Like,
which I mean, realistically, we're all definitely fucking risming with the tism over here. So,
speaking of which, while I'm thinking about it, I talked to Mike J last night, John, and he's always down. I asked him. He's always down.
Is he really?
Yes, dead ass. He's always
I
down.
want to have a conversation offline with you because I wanted to have a conversation with him about something too.
Of course you
See,
can.
and I wanted to see if you could look me
don't
up.
leave me out of these fucking conversations. I'm part of the team now, you bitch.
It's not. We're not leaving you out. It's fucking John. Mike,
You know me. I'm trying to poach everybody.
Mike J, and me went to elementary school together, Joe. So that is nothing like it's.
Well, I know.
He was one of our original guests. I don't even think his original show is available.
It's not. And you want those? I'd
not.
love to bring him on the show.
I was already here.
Yeah,
But that was when we were having fucking a bunch of issues, and his fucking just like between. We need to get Ronnie J on here again too.
He's always down. He's a little bit preoccupied right now. He's
I was going to say, isn't he off the trail by now?
He's off the trail, but he's in Europe.
Oh, that's right. He's busy. Yeah.
He's busy.
He's doing big boy things. Yeah.
But when he is the big boy.
Because
I'll send you guys pictures. I got an update on him. I'll
both
send you
Mike
pictures.
J and fucking Ronnie, both of them, when we had them on the last time, we had a lot of audio issues.
Yeah.
So,
We'll
I definitely would like to get those two back on here.
I would love to bring Mike J back on and not talk about Postal.
Same.
You know,
I finally played the first one.
He has a wonderful sense of humor.
Yeah.
I
mean, he was
played
talking
the
about
first
taking a
Postal.
shit in coffee.
Yeah, remember
It's
the bidet?
good.
Remember the whole bidet conversation?
Yeah,
Like-
and Squilini, the game's great. All of them. They're all great.
I'll tell you this right now. I'm still trying to convince Amy to let me fucking install a bidet on our fucking master bath toilet.
Why haven't you on your bath? You mean your toilet?
On the toilet.
Oh, okay.
The toilet in the master bathroom.
Okay, my apologies. I misheard you.
So I said
tell me about the
in the
IUD.
master bath toilet.
Tell me about the IUD.
Oh yeah, let's get back to the IUD.
Yeah, I want to hear about the IUD.
So
Dropping bombs.
First off, I've been divorced 3 times. This is now my 4th fucking marriage. Now that we've gotten that out of the way. My second wife, second ex-wife at this point. Right after my youngest was born, she goes and gets the fucking IUD installed for birth control. Apparently, she failed to mention to me that we needed to wait at least 3 weeks before we had any adult time, because we started having adult time and it felt like my dick was getting cut by a fucking guitar string.
Fucking A, Joe. Fucking A.
And I just learned my first solo the other day. I'm doing great things, guys.
You're doing great things for your country, John. You're doing great things for your country, John.
Wait,
we
you're
love
playing
you.
solos on IUD strings now?
Yeah. Right there, man.
Yeah, no, the whole fact that like when they initially put it in, it takes a while for
thing look like?
the fucking wire part to
Oh my
slide there.
god.
Yeah, it's like all the way up in there. And so
Oh my god.
What?
I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah, it's like
Please share screen and show a picture to our audience, because
if you look John,
if
John,
you
look
have
up
to see it, everybody has to see it.
John, look up IUD X-ray. Yeah, but look up IUD X-ray. That's how fucking far up in that bitch it goes.
Yeah, but see, if you
That's
go
how far
back,
up it goes.
if you go back to the last picture that you were showing,
No, dude, those are bad. Like a regular, like just that one right there. Yes,
fucking horrible.
that's perfect. That's perfect. Blow that
But-
shit up.
Let's go back to that initial picture of what the actual device looks like.
My lord.
Yeah, it goes all the way up in there. All the way up in there.
So you see all those the like wire that's hanging off the end of it?
Yeah.
That stays inside them too.
That's so they can get it out.
And that's so they can get it out. But it's stiff at first, and just over time it softens up. So they tell you when you get one of those fucking installed, not to have sex for 3 to 4 fucking weeks
Yep.
to give that wire fucking time to actually soften up so you're not stabbing your man in the dick with your fucking birth control.
I mean, the sex kind of sounds metal, dude. That sounds metal as fuck. Like, get
stabbed in for you.
I totally put on fucking
stabbed in the dick. Stabbed
Rammstein.
in the dick. like
I totally put on some fucking Rammstein when we were fucking doing it.
Goddamn
because
right.
I was getting stabbed in the fucking dick.
Stabbed in the dick. Stabbed in the dick.
Fuck me.
The fucking things work though. They do.
No,
Joe,
thank
can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question, Joe? Since you're encroaching on 40 soon in about 5 years, can I ask you a question?
Uh-huh.
Why don't you just get snipped, dude?
So insurance. So VA, because I'm still in my 30s, won't fucking do it.
Shut the fuck up. They said no. They said no.
No shit.
So I'm waiting
That's
for
good to
open enrollment. So I'm waiting for open enrollment with my current employer. And because I did the math, I'm only going to have to pay like $40 a paycheck for fucking medical, dental, and vision with my employer. So it's like, fuck it. I'll just pay to get the extra insurance. Come January, when that policy goes into effect, I will be going and scheduling a fucking vasectomy. Because I don't have a fucking problem with it. I've got 3 fucking kids. Me and Amy, we've talked. We've decided we're at that point where the second my kids all age out of child support, we're ready to fucking be able to have that extra money to go do shit we want to go do.
Correct.
That'll put more money in our fucking pocket. If we have another kid, that just takes back away from it. So, you know, and with all of Amy's medical issues,
it's not a good, like, the
we're not at the age where it's time to have a fucking kid. If we were in our early 30s,
I got lucky. I hit mine like right at the cusp. Both of my children, I was 31 and fucking 33.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I hit the perfect fucking
and
that. Like that's about as old as you want to be. That's about as old as you want to be.
Amy's doctor, so because like Amy's like, I have all these medical conditions. Me to have a kid anyways is a fucking huge health risk. But because Amy's not out of her prime technically for childbirth yet, she can't get a hysterectomy or any of that done because her doctor's like, well, what if you decide you do want to have kids?
She's fucking 40, dude. Like, what the fuck?
She'll be 40 in fucking March. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
At that point, just fucking say. And her doctor also already suggests she doesn't have fucking kids anyways because of the diabetes and all the other shit.
Yeah, what's the fucking problem?
But you know, it's like for me, it's so for a vasectomy, because my neighbor who we go play cards with frequently and, you know, we do cookouts and shit with, he's already had a vasectomy. He's only 32, but him and his ex, they had his son. After his son was born, he went and got fucking snipped.
I'm probably going to be doing that within the next like 12 to 24 months.
It's in the conversation right now.
Yeah, that's exactly where I'm at. It's like it's
a simple operation. It's a simple operation.
Yeah.
You can watch. You can. I don't know. I don't know if John, you'd be able to watch, but if you want to, you can watch them do it.
No, I can't do stuff like that. I'd rather have them put me out.
I've heard, dude, it ain't that bad. Like I've heard stories of like the doctor will let the dude like actually snip. They'll let you snip the wire. Like
they don't put you to sleep for a vasectomy.
Easy.
It's an outpatient procedure. It takes about literally what they do is they just numb the shit out of your nutsack.
Yep.
And then they and cut a small incision,
small slit, pull a fucking wire out,
cauterize the fucking the tube that connects your nuts to your fucking penis hole.
Look at John getting squeamish, dude. Like
they cut that bitch, they cauterize it to fucking seal it off.
Fucking, I'm having 6 more kids.
Stitch up your fucking nutsack.
Calm down.
And you're awake the entire time they do this, John. Fucking awake.
Speaking of nutsacks,
you've been to combat without tell me you haven't been to combat without telling me you haven't been to combat. Tries to change the vasectomy topic. That's you, John. Like,
Well,
I thought you were about to throw up when I was explaining the whole fucking procedure.
Oh, dude, I don't like my nuts being touched that way. You know what I mean? Like,
I
Man,
don't
you
like
haven't
my nuts
lived,
being
brother.
touched that way either, but if they
You
dump them
haven't
up
fucking-
enough, I don't give a shit.
you haven't lived, brother. You haven't lived yet. Like,
Give it the
ooh-wee.
good old slap and tickle.
I do need a good old slap and tickle. I gotta talk to my wife about that. But speaking of nut sacks, there were two of them arguing over. Hey, I can't believe this motherfucker said this yesterday that people are eating dogs and cats in Ohio.
The debate.
Okay.
The debate.
I can't believe. Okay, so
I'll
like,
be right back on that note.
yeah,
Oh God.
I'm just gonna say this first.
Go ahead. Please do.
I am sure people are eating dogs and cats, right? But I don't think that there's a certain group of people that are fucking doing it. You know what I
No,
mean?
It's like, dude, oh, God damn it.
It's one of the most
It's a dog
ridiculous
whistle. Like,
things.
it doesn't even mean anything. Like where is anybody seeing this? Like where's the proof is in the pudding. Like
I haven't seen anybody
there isn't
eating fucking. I'm sure it's happening, right? Let's be real. I'm sure it's happening in a 1%.
in a less than that probably, but like
Yeah.
in a country of 330 plus million people, I'm sure there's some nasty motherfuckers out there. Okay,
Yeah.
sure. It ain't what they were talking about.
It's not like that. It's
it ain't
really
like that.
it's because like I was
Jesus
watching it,
Christ.
and then like he said that, and I looked up and I was like, did he just fucking
Did he
say
just say
that
that?
a group of people are eating fucking animals?
It's ridiculous. It was. Oh my
Now-
God! Yeah.
Now Ohio's a fucked up place, but I don't know. I don't know about
man.
that.
I'll tell you what, dude. Like, I was disappointed in the constant. Like, dude didn't have a nice thing to say about anything.
You know, and that's
It
what
was like it was just fear mongering. It was just a lot of fear mongering, and it was just like, but what are your policies? What are you going to do when you're president?
I didn't hear anything about policies. I kept on hearing things
Didn't hear
more
anything.
about him arguing about
dog
things.
whistles, and he had no good answer for January 6th. He had no good answer for for Ukraine. He had no good answer for Ukraine.
I didn't see his Ukraine
need to watch-
answer.
If you want to get pissed off, John, watch that part. Watch that section of the fucking debate.
Yeah.
It's like
Then
he had no answer for Ukraine,
Yeah.
and like it was like, dude, it was like, come on, like what do
Yeah.
you were already president for 4 years. What are you gonna do? What
Yeah.
are you gonna do if you make it?
And this is not, and again, you know me, I'm pretty neutral with, I try my best to be as neutral as possible with things. Like even like Harris, there was some points I even heard some things that she said didn't make sense, but there were a couple things, just a couple things.
There were a couple small things,
and that's okay, but I mean, to say that there are afterbirth because I mean, afterbirth abortion is a fucking execution of a child.
That's murder.
Yeah,
called murder.
and even the moderator had said that in no 50 state is that allowed, and it's
pushing lies like that. And
I almost feel like they need to stop debating at this point. Like
they shouldn't though, because people should see when people put their
Stupidity?
foot like when people put their foot in their mouth like that bad, the populace should see it. And again, I want to remind and reiterate that here on the DD214 Network podcast, we take a very apolitical stance.
yeah,
We are neither for nor against either of the main parties here in the States, nor do we condone or freaking follow basically any other country and their politics in the world. Like we're United States Army veterans here on this podcast. We stay apolitical. We don't talk about politics. We don't talk about God. But it's kind of hard not to talk about politics on this one because it is election season, and
it's
this
a
guy
crazy time.
This guy keeps sticking around like a fucking sickness.
Yeah. Now, one thing that
And,
keeps
like,
on being brought up, and I'm trying to find the connection other than the fact that it was created by someone from Trump's staff, is the Project 2025.
Yeah, that's a real thing.
I know it's a real thing, and
Yeah.
I keep on hearing about it, right? And I understand obviously only so much, right? I'm not the smartest guy in the world, admittingly. We all know.
And you can read it for yourself.
Yeah, and I'm trying to understand where the connection is that people keep on saying that Trump is the one pushing this, and but I don't see.
He keeps denying that.
Well, it's not just that; it's everything else. Like reading through the Project 2025 websites and all the other information. They're saying they've said things about him, like talking about it, but at the same time, I'm really trying to find the connection if he's actually a part of this or not. Can you help me?
Well, his name is mentioned 300 times or more in the document itself. So
yeah, I mean, his name is mentioned. It's
bad. It's really bad.
We don't really have enough time to
go over that. Yeah,
that entire fucking thing. That's something like we would have to start a whole nother fucking podcast.
Yeah, that's an interesting topic because I hear it's bad for veterans.
It's bad for everyone, John. And
it's just fucking bad.
It's bad. Like they're talking. What they talk about in that.
I do understand that presidential power is a big thing.
If you're talking about being bad for veterans, they're talking about cutting funding. What happens when you cut funding? More veterans don't get the stuff they need.
Any of the fucking care they need. I mean, that's
like what would happen. What would happen to me if my P&T went away? I would either have to go back to work 40 hours a week and just fucking suck it up for the next 30 years of my life, or fucking lose my house.
Be homeless.
Lose my house. I would lose my house.
I mean,
that's like, and it's stuff like that where.
I mean, let's look at the mental health crisis amongst the veteran fucking community as it stands, and active soldiers. I mean, we're fucking losing. I think the statistics gone up. We're like above 22 a day now. Like when this first became a really big topic, veteran mental health, it was 22 a day. Hence, Till Valhalla Project, where I got my memorial bracelet from. Jay, you got several of yours from them. I've got their fucking sticker on the back of our fucking car, one of their decals, because, that's a project that fucking matters. Yep. But, if you're cutting funding, you're going to cut the fucking mental health care that the fucking veterans need. You're going to cut the mental health care that fucking anybody needs, realistically, because a lot of fucking mental health care in our nation now is all government funded programs.
Yeah, the therapy I get every week, we talk about this from time to time. I do individual therapy and I do group therapy every week. Every week. It's directly funded by those things. And I'm only able to do it because I'm able to do it. I am able to do it for free because of my rating. Because of my rating, there is no cost to me. There is no cost to me because of my rating. Like, I would not have that. I wouldn't have the access to that if it went away. And that's a tiny sliver of Project 2025. That's a tiny
sliver. And I know that there's some presidential powers in there where more loyalists and stuff like that would be in there.
He wants to fire all federal employees that aren't on his side. That would collapse our fucking government. Like, that would literally collapse our government. Like, without federal employees, like the ideas that they have in there are like they're destroying the institute. Like, they want to destroy the institutions that we have in place to protect civilians and veterans and everybody else that is in the United States of America. These institutions are in place, and they're just taking a fucking sledgehammer to that shit.
Well,
like, that's what they want to do. I
mean, fucking, I'm gonna have to touch on this because we're talking presidential powers and everything.
Go ahead, Joe.
The overturn of fucking Roe v. Wade, what was it, 2-3 years ago now?
And how many of those Supreme Court justices, when they were being confirmed, all said Roe v. Wade was fucking what? Settled law. Settled law. They all said when they were getting confirmed, settled law. And what did they do when somebody fucking challenged it? They overturned it.
Exactly.
Fucking liars. Fucking liars.
Here's my thing. Everybody deserves fucking some kind of rights no matter what. Unless you're like bottom of the barrel fucking criminal. Like, I understand, as when if you commit a felony and you get convicted of a felony, you lose a lot of your fucking rights as a citizen of the United States.
Correct.
Fucking understandable though, because you've committed a crime.
You get your rights
So
taken
heinous,
away.
Yeah, that you get your rights taken away. However, the right to vote should never be infringed on. The right to bear arms. The right to fucking women having a choice of what they do with their own fucking body.
Their own bodies, not our bodies, gentlemen.
Not my fucking body.
I don't
It's
own
not
a body.
Jay's body. It's
I
not
don't-
fucking John's body. It's their fucking body.
I don't own a fucking vagina, dude. Like, I have no idea, like, what that kind of like
Our
reproductive.
government should not be fucking involved in decisions like that.
No, fuck no, we shouldn't. No, and that's
You know, that's
100%
just my
correct.
whole thing. Like, because looking over 2025, this whole Project 2025 bullshit, because I've been doing research on it, that's what a lot of it's going to boil down to is our fucking rights as human beings.
Individuals, like,
And individuals are going to be fucking infringed on. And that's where I'm going to say the Second Amendment comes into play.
well, and it
That's
and it
where
doesn't-
our right to bear arm comes into play. Our right to a peaceful
That's why it's
fucking
in there.
militia.
That's why
That's
it's in
why
there.
it's fucking in there. Because
That was
once our
another-
rights
That was
as
another
an
interesting
individual start getting
conversation too.
infringed upon, that's when we as a nation need to step up.
I also didn't know that Kamala Harris owned the gun either. That was
You mean
actually kind of
Kamala?
surprising too.
We you'd be surprised, John, how many left leaning people in the populace or even liberals own weapons. Like,
Yeah.
I'm trying to
It is-
figure out how she owns a gun when she lived in California.
I don't know.
I
don't
mean,
know. That is a good
Should
question.
we say California at this point? Or did
Commie-
she get it after she moved to DC?
I don't know. Well, the handguns are not allowed in DC either. Handguns
Yeah,
are
but
not
they're allowed
in
in
DC.
fucking Maryland.
Maryland. They are. They
You know,
And
Maryland.
seeing
You know, Maryland's the only state that has flamethrowers banned.
Smart.
California also has them fucking banned. I don't think you fully researched that, John.
I actually did. It
There's-
said Maryland.
So California has specifications that if it uses XYZ, it's illegal. If it doesn't use XYZ, you can own it. Like really, it's like California. I think it's like the combustion agent that determines whether you can legally own it or not.
Oh, it's because a flamethrower is a tool, not a firearm.
Interesting. Interesting. There you go.
I mean, technically, it is a tool.
It is. It's definitely a tool.
It's a tool because here's the thing. You know how many
Really good at
bonfires
starting-
I've started with a fucking flamethrower over the years?
It's really good at starting shit on fire. Like,
And if you ask most fucking Vietnam vets how well it works at taking out the the Charlies.
yeah,
Hmm.
fucking World War II, and fucking the Pacific Theater, and fucking ew,
And then damn.
ew.
You guys got any football before I touch news?
I just wanted to like congratulate both me and Joe. We called like all of them. We called like
No shit.
every game we called. We were correct on this week. So like
No way.
And
We
I
did.
just want to
did.
so the team of the week that gets the we're sorry moment of silence, the fucking Carolina Panthers.
Oh yeah, atrocious game.
So-
That was a bad game. Just bad all
They
around.
weren't the lowest score of the fucking first week of football, but they were the worst fucking game.
Yeah, they did not have a good game.
Carolina lost to the Saints 47-10. They
Yep.
were down 30-0 at the fucking start of the halftime.
The half. Painful to
Now-
watch. Painful to watch.
Now, so that's 47-10 for that game. The lowest scorer of the fucking week was the Giants with only 6 points on the fucking board. However, their opponent only beat them by 22 points instead of 37.
That's a lot of points.
Only 22. Only 3 touchdowns.
So
That was about to say,
Carolina
yeah.
still takes our condolences. We will give you a moment of silence. Okay, we're done with the moment of silence. But outside of that, realistically, everything me and Jay called last Sunday was right on.
We were actually spot on. We actually were spot on.
Teams to watch, definitely, we were spot on.
That's awesome. I'm happy for you guys.
When we had the episode last week, the Chiefs had already had their game. They beat the Ravens by 7 points. Cowboys, we beat the Browns 33-17.
Yep.
The Lions won against the Rams. I figured, after the season the Lions had last year, they were coming out the gate fucking swinging.
They won an OT. They did it. That's two openers in a row they've won, because last year they beat us week 1.
Yeah.
Last year
they beat y'all last year by 1 point.
Yep.
That was a 1 point fucking game.
And this year was OT. This year was OT.
Yeah. So, and that was the only game that went into overtime the entire fucking first week.
Yes, it was.
And then the 49ers fucking kicked Aaron Rodgers' ass.
Curb stomp on the Jets. That was a curb stomp. That was a straight curb stomp. Like, that wasn't even a fucking game. That game was never in question.
My surprise of the week was the Washington Commanders putting 20 points on the board.
Who did they play?
They played the Buccaneers. They lost by 17 points.
But they still put up 20?
But they still put up 20.
All right.
So is that 2 touchdowns, 2 field goals?
Round about that, yeah.
Basically. My surprise of the week was the Patriots-Bengals and how bad the Bengals played. I was like, what happened to the Bengals? Because we play the Bengals today as this Bengals. We play the Bengals, and they beat us here at Arrowhead. Like when I first moved here, remember, like early 22 in the AFC Championship game, early 22, January 22, they beat us here at Arrowhead. And
even last season, the Bengals had a good fucking record.
They did, and the season before. So like they're not schlumps.
They weren't a team to fucking sleep on. It's just for some reason
the rebuild. They didn't look. I watched most of that game. I watched most of that game specifically because we've got them. We've got them today.
Now,
and they didn't look good. They did not look like it. Like they really, like they weren't. It was. I don't know. Shit wasn't clicking on the field. Shit was not clicking on the field at all for them.
I will say the one thing that annoyed the piss out of me during the Cowboys fucking Browns game was fucking one of the commentators.
Who?
Fucking Brady.
Oh, I heard about that. He's
fucking
not that great.
Brady.
He's not that great of a commentator, is he?
I think I heard his co-host fucking speak more than him. Now, granted, this was his first official game in the booth.
Right.
But it was just more the fact of I'm trying to watch my Cowboys and they put fucking Brady on the screen more than they did the fucking game.
Money.
Kind of like how last season when Taylor Swift started coming to games and we saw more fucking Taylor Swift than we did of the fucking Chiefs. That's kind of what happened this past Sunday with fucking Brady during the fucking Cowboys Browns.
I think they only showed her like twice during the game on that Thursday.
Yeah, it was so before I turned it off to go to bed that Thursday for opening weekend, I saw one time they went up to the booth that she was in. And let's talk about fucking your boy Kelsey.
He didn't do too bad. He didn't do.
Oh no, I'm talking about the fucking haircut, bro.
Oh, the fucking cut those. I said cut those sideburns, Mattingly. Like, did you like that shit? Did you fucking like that? I know you guys got the joke because of The Simpsons. Like, I know you guys got the joke. He looked like fucking. Oh my god, dude! Like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, it's like. There's a whole subreddit for that. It's just fuck my shit up. Just fuck my shit up.
Well, like, so when I first saw him, I went straight to fucking Ace Ventura with fucking Finkel and all that shit. And the fucking threads not being fucking faced the right way and all that shit.
Dude, he looks like he should be selling cars to kids in 1972.
Bro. Bro, I like who gets up in the morning? You're a fucking multi-bajillionaire. Who gets up in the morning and looks in the mirror and thinks that haircut looks fucking okay? Like who?
With the
and
That was
mustache?
100%. He cut that shit himself.
bro, he did like literally. Like
There is no way you paid somebody to give you that fucking haircut.
he looks like he cut it himself with like while holding a mirror while fucking drunk as fuck.
I hope that's the excuse he's telling people.
Me too.
Because that barber's
Hey.
reputation is ruined.
Hey, he might be a Kansas City Chief, dude, but like 0 points on that fucking haircut, bro. Like that
Oh
looks
my
like
God.
absolute trash. Trash.
Bro,
haircut.
you had zero style at all.
Bro, dude, you're a
wow.
multi-bajillionaire. Like you could like, oh my God, you could get a better haircut. Like freaking
I don't even make that much money, and I've got a better haircut. And it's been fucking 3
that
weeks since
literally-
I got a haircut.
That looks better than fucking Kelsey's haircut right now. That looks better. Like 100%. John, your hair fucking looks better than
I
Kelsey's.
got the best hair in podcasting.
Look at that shit. Look at that beautiful fucking shit right
like
there.
for me,
Holy
this is
shit.
fucking.
You know what
too
I'm gonna
long,
do?
And it's just the sides.
I'm gonna get Liberty spikes.
Bet you won't do it. No fucking balls. Bet you won't fucking do it. No
Next
balls.
episode.
Baby, you give me
No
Liberty
balls.
spikes?
Manchester.
Next episode, you got to do it for fucking the live.
Manchester.
Yeah.
Manchester.
I got you. You know what? That's what I'll do. Ooh, I have an idea for
guys
the
have
DD214 Halloween special.
Do you guys have Elmer's glue in the house? Do you have
Tons
Elmer's?
of it.
Okay. That's what it's gonna. I'm just
We
giving
got
you a heads
kids,
up.
Jay. Of course, we got glue.
I'm just giving you a heads up. That's what it's gonna take.
Yeah.
You know you're supposed to fucking use the glue to glue things together, not sniff it, right, John?
That's debatable.
Is sniffing it the reason why you have such enormous nostrils?
That's another conversation for another time. If you want the history, you can watch.
Possible deviated septum.
No, I'm just gonna say on the first couple episodes of DD214, I was a little crazy. I'm just saying, all right.
I was waiting for a fucking middle finger when I made the fucking
Nobody-
nostril
Yeah,
comment.
no, I was.
Nobody
Listen.
can. Nobody can see those episodes though, so it doesn't matter. It didn't happen.
I can. I have admin access to the
Bro,
YouTube.
I would come back. I remember one time I looked at the old episode a while ago, and I fucking went back to an episode where I came back on camera. I was like, Jesus Christ, John, what the fuck?
It's like,
Listen, the COVID era was a bad time.
it was not good for any of us. It
You
was
know?
like,
COVID era had me walking around wiping under my fucking nose like I
We
was
were-
snorting coke.
that was a very odd time. Like, and it really it took a toll on everybody.
Yeah,
Like, it really did. It took a fucking toll on people. Like hardcore.
yeah. We'll talk.
So- I think we're good football wise because we pretty much just touched base in like very limited time. What else you got, John?
All right, so I got just two things to end it up with. So for guys like me that got fucked up teeth, right? There's a company now called Everyone for Veterans, and they're giving free dental services to veterans.
Good shit.
And so Everyone for Veterans was founded in 2017 by Teresa Cheng, now a retired periodontist in Washington State. Her advocacy for this cause actually dates back to 2008 when she read about a severely wounded veteran whose mother quit her job to help care for them. So she began holding free dental days for military caregivers. And when she realized that not all veterans were receiving dental benefits through the VA, she expanded the service to eligible service members. To meet the threshold for care, a veteran must have served for at least 2 years, be honorably discharged, show proof of a financial hardship, and be less than 100% service-connected disabled. Along with filling out the application form, a veteran must also submit their DD-214 VA Disability Award letter from this year, even if they're rated at 0, and if a veteran's spouse is applying a marriage certificate.
So
You're good.
you know where I get screwed over in that entire deal?
The financial hardship.
Yep.
I think I do too.
Because I'm pretty sure if they took me and the wife's fucking income and looked at that, they're like, yeah, you're not.
Like you go to a regular dentist, but it's pretty cool. I just checked out the website, and you can go on the website. They have a bunch of resources there. I'll put a link in the description. But yeah,
definitely make sure that's in the description for the episode and everything.
Absolutely.
everyone for
Because-
veterans.
I mean, here's the thing. So you know, I'm going to piggyback off that for a fucking quick minute because we've got this challenge going on. Speaking of which, John, how the fuck are you doing with it?
This week, not too good.
Okay, go fuck yourself. You're going to have to cut your hair.
I'm not, dude, if you cut your fucking hair, John, I swear to
no, trust me. I'm going to make it.
I will remember November 1st. You have to be completely fucking nicotine free.
I know.
I will show you. I will show up at your door at 3:00 in the fucking morning, and I will throw. I will
fucking yesterday.
I will personally throw you down several flights of stairs.
So wait a minute. In order for me to see you, Jay, I have to keep on smoking and shave my head so you could come over here and we can hang out after you beat my ass.
I'm pretty sure it's going to end up being a fucking you in the hospital situation.
Don't fucking make it like that, John. Like, no, that's not the only way.
Here's the thing. I'm just going to say this, Jay. If you're driving to fucking New Jersey to go whoop John's ass, you better come through North Carolina and pick my ass up first.
Fucking might as well.
I'm going to be in the background fucking gimbling my phone recording this shit. Because it will make it onto the fucking internet.
I used to have long hair. We've talked about this, John.
Yeah.
I used to have long hair.
I've seen a picture of it.
It didn't happen.
No, there's a picture of it.
There's plenty. There's a couple on it's on my Facebook. Scroll all the way down to the bottom of my freaking. Yeah. Scroll all the way down to the bottom of my
It's a
okay,
zoomed
and now
in
you have
face
officially
photo.
asked me to fucking do too much.
Okay, well, I'm just saying I had long hair and it was it takes time and it takes effort and you have to take care of it. And it's a whole ass thing. And John has probably got close to 2 years. Looking at it, he's got close to 2 years. If you fucking cut that hair, dude.
Yeah, no,
I'm going to be dead ends are a fucking problem, Jay.
Severely pissed.
Dead ends are a problem.
You mean split ends?
Yeah,
dead ends, split ends.
Split ends,
same fucking thing.
That's why you get a trim every once in a while, dude.
Yeah. So this one's gonna tickle your pickle. The Virginia National
Takes
Guard.
a lot to tickle my pickle.
Are you guys?
Jay tried
what's
to
going
when I
on
was
in
in
Virginia.
Kansas City. I told him no.
Are you guys familiar with what's going on in Virginia right now?
Regarding what?
The National Guard.
Not quite.
Okay, so the National Guard has confirmed that it has launched an investigation into 2 soldiers who have espoused anti-government views while running a county militia in state. Last week, it was reported that 2 guardsmen, Staff Sergeant Daniel Abbott and Alexandra Griffith, are running the Campbell County Militia, which operates in the countryside around Lynchburg, Virginia, with the blessing of Campbell County's Board of Supervisors. What you got?
What?
Doing it wrong, nasty girls.
Do you guys remember?
Wrong.
Do you guys remember Fear?
I'm gonna go ahead and I'm channeling my inner.
You broke his brain. He's about to turn into Jay. Watch. Joe, your heart rate, Joe. Breathe. Watch your heart rate.
First off, how can you be anti-government and serve in the fucking nasty guard?
Swear an oath to the Constitution, even reserve, National Guard, active duty. You swear an oath to the motherfucking Constitution.
Second, the National Guard during times of peace is literally just a state militia to begin with.
Correct. You are already in a state militia. That is correct.
So why the fuck anti-government, yet you swore an oath to the fucking Constitution and the government, and you're going to start your own fucking militia when you're already part of a fucking militia?
So do you remember like in the early days of the Iraq War when like gangbangers would like join the army and do like a tour or two, and then they'd go back and like teach
we had this conversation like 2 weeks ago.
That sounds like what these fucking knuckleheads are fucking like trying to do, and it's kind of like, what, dude? John, does it say what their MOSs are?
No.
Oh, I'm dying. I'm dying to fucking know what their MOSs are. Like,
yeah, I want to know why.
I guarantee it's fucking infantry.
I want to know
totally fucking 11 bang bangs.
What if they're not? What if they're like supply?
I want to
Like
know why.
that's what I'm gonna like. That's why I want to know. That's exactly why I want to know.
I want to know why Campbell County the Campbell County Board of Supervisors is allowing militias in the first place.
Because it's the fucking South, John.
That makes sense.
As Jay's just like, yeah, I'm just gonna nod my head yes to what Joe just fucking said because he's right.
Bless your heart, as they would say, right?
Bless your heart, yeah. Bless your heart, Jay. Like I live like
that's exactly what that is.
If I leave the greater metro of Kansas City, I am in the South. I'm functionally like Missouri is about as far north of the South as you're gonna get, but that's where the fuck I live.
Literally, Missouri is honorary Southerners.
They were a slave. Missouri was a slave state. Remember the Kansas Compromise? Missouri was a fucking slave state. Like,
those of us that actually live in the South, Jay, consider Missouri as honorary Southerners because y'all are just about as Southern as the fucking rest of us down here in the actual South.
And I'm from New Jersey.
It's true.
And then we got the damn Yank.
Honestly, well, and the funny part is like even going back in my own personal family's history on my mother's side, way back in those days, there's a like local famous guy, and he was a Confederate sympathizer. He was a fucking sympathizer, and he was a known associate of like Quantrill's Raiders. So like the shit runs deep. The shit runs deep out here. You know what I mean? And it ain't no joke. And like to have a person who serves in the National fucking Guard, like what are they doing? Training soldiers, training militia members? Like, no, dude. Like, fucking
they're doing weird militia shit. Dude. But guys, you know what time it is, and this is my favorite part of the show, and not because it's the end, but because it's the final thought. Like, legitimately, we were just talking about earlier today about Chester Bennington and his troubles, you know, and how people around him didn't hear his cries. And this is a thing that happens on the highest of ladders to the lowest of steps.
Yep. Truth.
You could be on the top of the mountain. You could be on that throne. But like a lot of songs say, that throne is lonely at the top.
It does get lonely at the top.
Okay, we were talking about, you know, the feeling that Chester was feeling during the time of his passing, and everybody has felt like that, have we not? You know, we've all felt like that.
Intrusive thoughts are a thing.
Yes, they are.
A thing.
And sometimes intrusive thoughts get the best of you, and that's what we're trying to avoid. You know, I just lost a friend, someone that I knew in high school. I found out this morning, actually, and not too sure what happened, you know, but what I do know is that his family is grieving. His friends are grieving. People are dying every single day. Mm-hmm. And even if, you know, even though his death was not what we're talking about right now, it's the fact that people around Danny Wenzel, his family, his friends around him are going to feel a certain way. They're going to feel they're going to feel cold. They're going to feel alone. They're going to be scared. It's heartbreaking to think about that there's so many people that we're losing. We just lost James Earl Jones.
We did. He had a good run. Ranger qualified soldier. He made it to 93 though. Yep. He made it to 93.
Yes, he did.
He made it to 93.
His family is grieving.
They are, but he had a good life.
His family and an entire fan base. Multiple fan bases.
He chose to live. He chose to live.
He chose to live.
But he lived a good, long life.
A good, honest life.
Because, I mean, that's Lord Vader and Mufasa.
And what's his name? Doom? Like, whatever Doom from fucking Conan? Like Thulsa Doom or whatever?
Yep.
That's
from
right.
Conan. He was
fucking Field of Dreams.
He was
Fuck
the
the
king
Field of
from
Dreams.
Coming to America with Eddie Murphy.
People will come, Ray. People will come.
You know, and like I was saying before, as high as the ladder is, people still have hard times and people still grieve. People in James Earl Jones' family are going to have a hard time with this. You know, someone in that family is going to need someone to talk to, just like someone in my friend group from Danny Wenzel's friend group is going to need someone to talk to, because that is what we need. We need to talk to somebody.
That's why I go to therapy every week.
Yeah,
I'm not afraid to talk about the fact that I do go to therapy every week.
And now we're over half the year now. The year's almost
Well
over.
past.
You know?
Past half.
And we're still losing people left and right to suicide.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and even more to that too. But we're losing people to suicide, you know, and we've been tired of it. It's over.
Too many.
It's over.
We need to choose to live. We have to. I don't care how fucking hard it gets. We have to choose to goddamn live. Like,
we have to choose to live. We have to better ourselves in the current situations we're in at the same time. You know, it's one of those things. I deal with depression daily. I'm sure, you know, all three of us do. You know, we all have our own demons we're fighting. And you hear us talk about, like, me and John going through this mission together of getting rid of nicotine, quitting bad habits. First off,
It's stressing me out.
no, alcohol is not going anywhere.
for now. Not forever. For now.
Not forever. For this
now.
exact moment.
For now.
But, like, I got to thinking, like, I'm almost, you know, I'm mid-30s. I'm overweight. I have all these other problems.
You have children.
I have kids. Well, I have teenagers, which is worse than having kids.
Yeah.
Still have kids. They're your baby.
But, you know,
they want to see daddy grow up. They want to see daddy when they're grown up.
They want to see me, you know, when my daughters walk down the fucking aisle, I want to be there. When my son fucking proposes and gets married, I want to fucking be there. So, you know, we're making changes in our lives to improve our lifestyles. I've been going back to the gym. I've been eating healthier. We've talked about this on the show already. You know, so, you know, I'm doing things to improve myself. John's doing his things. Jay does his things. We're all doing our own things. But at the same time, we also are making sure if we need help, we're reaching out to a battle buddy, to a friend.
Fucking truth.
Yep.
What's
And
that number, John? What's that number, John?
Hey, you could text or call 988 or 1-800-273-8255. That is 1-800-273-TALK. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I've said it before. It is not a service. It is an opportunity. Okay, you don't need to pay a monthly service for this. There's no paywalls or anything like that.
Free 99.
Yeah.
It's $3.99, and it's an opportunity to seek the assistance. I'm not going to say help. Help is very broad. It's assistance.
Very well
Seeking
said,
the
yeah.
assistance needed in a time of need.
In crisis. In
crisis.
Yeah.
That's when you just cannot hold it.
When you're in a time of crisis, star 988. Well, not even star anymore. You don't even have to use fucking star.
988
It's just
now.
now straight 988. You hit 988, whether it's via the phone app on your phone, or even if you don't feel like talking to somebody physically, you can text them and have an entire text conversation with them.
Yeah.
You don't have to physically call somebody on the phone anymore. So, you know, the resources are there.
Yes, they are, and they're there for you guys. I'm going to say it, BetterHelp is a good service, but you're paying for that. You're talking to real people sitting there waiting for your phone call today, guys. Guys, we love you. this is, I mean, the pre-records are fun. Sometimes we get like the conversation just comes out, but we do miss our interactivity. So we can't.
We'll be here when you guys are. If you guys are watching this live today, like live, it's a pre-record. But if you're watching it live right now, we're gonna be in there
during the premiere. We will be in the comments.
We will be in the comments. We will always be here for you guys as much as we possibly can until the bitter end. Until the bitter end.
Yes, we will. So wear a condom. Okay.
Yeah, dude. Oh my God.
Wear a condom.
Wrap it up, Dave Grohl. Wrap it. Dude,
wrap it before you tap it, motherfuckers.
Yeah. We learned a lot of things today. Wear a condom. Don't.
And if you don't, if you can't wrap it, dude, like don't be a dummy. Shoot on her tummy.
Okay. So we're going wrap it before you tap it. And I had something else, and then the whole fucking Jay's comment just threw me the fuck off.
I'll say this. Oh shit! I fucking lost it. I had a good one too.
See, exactly.
Oh yeah, you know what? They're gonna start adding a new thing into the safety briefs in the end. Don't eat your pets. Everybody have a good fucking night.
Don't eat your pets. I like that. Guys, have a good day.
That was great.
Good shit.
Oh, why is it still recording?
Uh-oh.